All right, welcome back to Inner Pop Podcast. What are we talking
Yay.
about this week?
Wow, we just jumped right in there today. That
Crazy.
was kind of wild.
We gotta get to the point. Get to the
Do we?
point.
When
Yes.
have we ever in our lives?
There's a first time for everything.
I don't think I liked it. That didn't feel like us for a second. Well, I guess since we're jumping right in there, we're talking about a show today. Yay, we've made our grand return to shows, specifically Cinderella Closet. Yay.
Yay! It was great.
But yeah, it was. I mean, I guess before we get into anything, overall, first, general impressions from you?
It was great. It was a very cute little love story. And being, because, kind of gender is a pretty big theme of it, and being non-binary, it felt very satisfying. It felt very satisfying. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Well, I feel like maybe we should do a thing where we kind of like rate these somehow, but we're not going to get into all that today. Uh, recommend the show.
Yeah, recommend it for anyone who's fond of a nice romance. I recommend.
Yes, super. I mean, it is nothing if not a love story for sure. For sure, it is full love story. So if you guys like a little kind of a not like cozy in terms of like aesthetics or whatever, you know what I mean? Like not that kind of cozy, but
Right.
like cozy in terms of like it's just like kind of an all the way through the show.
Very wholesome.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
wholesome.
If
Yeah.
you like that kind of vibe, definitely a show for you. And I guess with the general vibes out of the way, we'll give you guys a quick little rundown of it for those of you who have not seen the show. Yeah. So we'll jump right in, just with sort of some general information. So it's just, like I said, the 12 episodes, uh, 20 minutes each. I feel like it's kind of a quintessential like Japanese standard for a show, like the 20-minute like boom boom boom. It's kind of to the point. Each episode, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to. Some dramas kind of drag it on the story on a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right. There would be like this random side plot point, or like, oh,
Right.
we're gonna insert extra genre over here, so we have
Right.
more to cry about, and slow
Right.
still shots. And no, this show is a lot
Slow
more.
burn.
Yeah, this one's a lot more to the point.
Straightforward. Yeah, it's straightforward, which I appreciate. Now, don't get me wrong. If you like those other kind of shows, not said a bad word against them. This is just not what that is. It's very face value seems not like the term that I want to use, but as far as like the storyline itself and the plot goes, face value as far as what you're getting, like it's very this is what the story is. And so, to that end, what the story is, we're following mostly our main girl, Haruka, who it's kind of a story of growth, I think, is the best way to describe it, right? Like finding confidence in yourself and who you are, and just kind of figuring out what you are like as a person in terms of your likes and dislikes and your stories and your feelings and all of the things. So we're following her and her love interest, kind of, sort of, not like following them, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways,
Right.
he I do this every time, even in my head when I'm talking about their names, because they're so similar. So you have Haruka, main girl, and then we have main love interest. Um, oh my
Hikaru.
God, he Hikaru.
Yeah, he
I'm
can
trying
read.
to like say it correctly. Trying to mess it up. Hopefully said pronounced mostly correctly. And then also obviously our other side characters, and we're following along with their story of just, the friends to lovers trope is kind of what's happening here. So she runs into Hikaru on the street, kind of quite literally, and he is just so pretty that she asks him to teach her all about the makeup and things because she historically was more of a tomboy, is the word I'm going to use. She didn't do the like high fashion makeup, fixing the hair things. And so she asked for help in order to confess to her crush, I guess, to get the other guy. And it's just this lovely story of all of this going down. Now, important thing to note, I have left this until the end on purpose. She is asked for his help because when they first met, he was dressed cross-dressed. Is that the term I want to use? I don't know if I like it, but
I
kind of. I
suppose
think
they do
cross-dressed.
use it in the show.
They do use it in the show, and technically, he's never been. He's kind of been described as gender fluid, but also uses the he a lot. So I don't really
Yeah.
know where we fall on the spectrum for 100% certain. So I don't want to like say non-binary because I don't know if it's that or if we're just he and I don't. As he described it
And
in
he
the
just
show,
likes,
he
yeah.
just likes pretty things.
Yeah,
And
it
so
seems
he
like it.
dresses both sometimes masculinely and sometimes very femininely with a very long wig, which go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry, that was it.
Was
It
there
just
more?
frames his face really well.
It
He
does.
looks
It
great
frames
in it. It's a wonderful
so
hairstyle for him.
excellent, excellent hairstyle. And whoever fashion department in general, I get fashion design for the show, our fashion people on the show did an excellent job. Like fashion for everybody was so on point. So, but anyways, Haruka asked for his help because he was just dressed beautifully, fully with the wig and everything. And so then we just go on this nice little ride of him kind of teaching her initially how to be very, I guess, feminine, but embracing the like, we're doing the long hair things and the makeup and this style that, like, she seems not uncomfortable in, but you can tell it doesn't fully feel like her. Like it's what's the what's the best way to say it? This is just how I feel, but it doesn't like capture the highest level of confidence that she does eventually
Right,
find in herself.
right. And that's because
And
she needed to find it in herself, I feel like.
exactly, I think so, cuz the hair, the makeup, the clothes, none of that is what gave her the confidence.
And it's the same lesson, or well, kind of, that he learns too by
Correct.
the end of it. Yeah.
Well, yes and no. I have issues with this. But we'll get into that by the time we get to the end. Oh, I was going to say something else. Oh, yes. So we go on the whole little journey with them. He's teaching her these things to get the guy that she has the crush on, who is her coworker. And they do date for at least a month, if I recall correctly. They were together for a little
Yeah,
a
they
hot
broke
minute.
up on their 1 month
1 month.
anniversary.
Yeah. Which they make seem like such a big deal, and I'm like, wow, okay. The 1 month ring he was gonna get her was. Anyways, so they did it for like a month. Spoilers, I guess. And then we have the sort of plot points. There's, his ex girlfriend that comes into play and all of the things, and this just like overall growth of her figuring out what she really wants and who she really wants and how she wants to feel about herself and all the things. Am I missing anything? Is that a general plot line?
No, I think that was pretty good synopsis.
Pretty good synopsis. All right, so that's synopsis. I guess you want to start. I don't know that we want to break it apart episode by episode for you guys today, but I guess we just want to start towards the beginning of the story. How did you feel about, I have to know, Haruka, like initially? Like, first episode, we're talking, she's like, we're getting to see the past glimpses of her. And then current.
Honestly, I felt about her, I feel like the same way the entire show, where I was just rooting for her.
Yeah, agreed. The actress, I asked because I just thought she did just such an excellent job portraying her. I mean, just, I was in her corner from start to finish.
And I did see, I'll say I did see where there were some people who I kind of thought like her acting was over the top and like it's like yeah, because this was based off of a manga and a lot of
Right.
times like especially one that's meant to be as like lighthearted as this, there's a certain way that characters will act in those manga a lot of time, and it translates over well to like an anime because that's animated. But when you translate it into live action, yeah, it's gonna look over the top because that's not really how humans like act.
Right.
But for the character, it fit perfectly, and I think she did a fantastic job. And I can get some people not being like into that vibe and stuff. Like that's understandable too. It all depends on like what the what the piece of like what genre you're sitting in here, and that's kind of the genre you're sitting in.
For
But
sure.
she
Because it's a really common thing you find, I feel like, when it's not just transferred over from like a manga, but from really anything. I feel like you see it with a lot of things that are kind of transferred over from, like the some kind of art medium to the screen, usually because there's a lot of like inner monologue and like it's hard to make it seem like because that's not you're not reacting to your inner monologue on a day-to-day
right.
basis for the most part, most of us. you know and so I feel like it's a common thing I see a lot, that is played up, and so it does come off as a little over the top sometime, but that's also why I feel like people enjoy those. Like, I feel like that's something
Yeah.
that people liked about the manga.
Right. Right. And especially because like it's like playing up because I mean most of the time yeah you watch people in real life and nobody wants to just watch people just exist in real life. Okay, I know reality TV exists, but even then a lot of times they're acting like or it's like manufactured drama. Okay, whenever it
Yeah,
comes to like things being on a screen or entertainment, you want it to be entertaining, and so things being played up like that, yeah, it's really enjoyable. But no, it's not going to come across supernatural. Yeah.
you're right. Yeah. Well, and as far as even being over the top goes, I feel like I've seen far more what's like unrealistic reactions, you know what I mean? In
Very
some
true.
other I think live action adaptations than I have in this one. And just in general, I do think she did a really good job of just bringing that character's just loveliness to life. So props for that.
Props to her for sure.
Especially since she's kind of the only one. And I would imagine this is probably why people feel this way, but because she's kind of the only one who has those reactions in the show, but we're following her.
Right.
Like this really is through her lens for the most part. So that makes sense. We don't get as much of the others. I I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is the Haruka show, okay?
This is the
Get used to
yes, the
it.
Haruga show, and I'm here for it. In that same vein, how did we feel about some of the other characters as the show went on? Do we feel the
I
same way about everyone start to finish, or did we change feelings about anyone?
um I had a moment, right?
Mm,
Kind of in I feel like it's a moment probably everybody had,
okay.
right? Well, maybe, I don't know.
Now let's find out.
um,
Let's see.
fair enough, fair enough. But the moment where like Kurotaki-san and Mio, right? When they met up. So, she
Mm,
called him. He was on the date
mm-hmm.
with Haruka. She was over there making karage. And he was like, I gotta go. And just races out of the shower. Gotta go. I'll explain later. And he goes to meet Mio at the building, that big fancy building. And
Mm,
they're having this like, because she, a stalker following her since she moved
mm-hmm.
to Tokyo. Big deal, big
Right.
deal. And yeah, you're gonna
Big
call the
deal.
one
And she was
person there
alone
that you
in
know.
Tokyo. Yeah.
Yes,
Didn't know
you're gonna
anyone
call
at the
the one
time.
person, right?
Right.
So, but the moment, because it does the little like cliffhanger type thing, right there at the
Right.
end of
Did
the
they
episode
kiss
and
or not?
everything.
Yeah.
But like, were they kissing? Were they actually? Is that what's
Mm-hmm.
happening? Did they like reconnect since that's his ex girlfriend from high school? Did they like reconnect in this moment now?
Mm,
And does that ruin everything? Is Kurotaki-san? We're kind of rooting for him too, right? Like he's cool, he's sweet, he's bumbling, he doesn't understand. Uh, he's oblivious, but he's really nice and he has good intentions. Does he all of a sudden lose those good intentions? You know what I mean? And so there was a moment
mm-hmm.
where I was like, let's not do that. Plus, it's kind of a it's not like a I mean it's it's something that happens, so I don't want to say like, oh, it's a tired trope, but but I like that they subverted from that trope, you know what I mean? And it turns out they still did like the trope of like, oh no, did something happen? No, it didn't. But I like that they subverted that trope throughout the show too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't end up making them get together later anyway.
Yes. So I did not have this moment. I'll be full disclosure, and I can't explain exactly why, because I think it's one of the only times in a show where I've never been immediately mad to see the trope. Like, how dare he? Because I think my reaction was just confusion. Because up until this point, I think Kurotaki's been like just your quintessential, like, nice dude to the point that like he doesn't know how to not be nice to everyone, and but also doesn't quite understand things, but does, like, it's been, bumbling, I think was a good word to describe it, but like with best intentions. And so it was for me just more like, huh? Because it just didn't seem correct in my head. That's like
Right. It's like that's
a
not
plot point.
Kurotaki.
Like, I wasn't even mad. I was like, that's surely not what I was like, no, this is absolutely not gonna go the way they're trying to make it seem. And then I did the cliffhanger and I was like, no, okay, so truly nothing's gonna have happened. My
Right.
only thing was, is it gonna be something that they wait and leave around and she's gonna storm off? And that's the part that made me mad, because if they were gonna do that, where we just walk off and storm off and we're angry and now we have a fight and there's no communication, I didn't want that, because
Right.
they were both
Yeah.
pretty good the whole time about being straightforward about things as much as
Mm-hmm.
they could be. But thankfully they did not do that, and it was an immediate, I think, due in no small part to Hikaru, who would have fully punched him in the face, like, even if she
Mm-hmm.
stormed off. Like, he was gonna stay and see what happened no matter what.
Oh yeah.
But just that it was an immediate, like, oh, no, no, no,
Yeah.
here's what happened, and everybody actually had a conversation about it, because, hey guys, communication is actually
Yes.
shockingly easy.
Because I had the exact same thought. And I love that, you do have them immediately. They're all sitting down talking about it. Like
Hmm.
literally clearing the air and
Yes.
everything. And then she, during that,
Hmm.
well, during slash after that conversation, Haruka's like, I'm gonna go get some more water for us. And then you hear Kurotaki and Mio talking, and Mio's like, you're a fucking dumbass. Stop talking. Stop being
Oh,
so
in
concerned
the
about
the
me.
conversation, like, the next day or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the
Like being
different
like, stop
episode. Yeah,
talking.
I like that we immediately had the resolution, like where everybody had the conversation, the four of them. And then I like also that later between just the three of them was a different conversation of just like the ex being supportive of them both and saying like, actually this is a wonderful person and I want to see her happy and you're stupid. Like, excellent work. Like, actually meaning what we say when we say, I'm not trying to get him back. And I, like, you know, so
Yeah.
often it goes into the drama for the sake of drama. And, oh, the ex is saying one thing, but is actually having all of these devious plots. No, 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 no. And I like that. But to that same vein, what I disliked later on in the show when they did the same thing with Shu and Hikaru, I was forever mad that she just stormed off and left him there knowing he was drunk. And stormed off is maybe not the better word, maybe like ran away, but I was forever mad about that.
Mm.
Like, we knew he was that drunk. You saw him getting drunk. And he's been, like, even if we thought that his crush was on Shu, if your friends are drunk, you take care of them.
Right. It's called being a good friend.
Right. Like, we don't. Because even if we thought that was crush, you're still drunk, and so that's still a no-no. So we go and check on our friends.
It's
And
like it's
so I was
understandable being caught in the feelings. I
right.
get it.
Yes.
But not to the degree where you leave your drunk friend alone.
Right. I was very half naked, no less. Like, we didn't want to, like, I don't care if you think you're interrupting a moment, do it anyways, just to be
Hmm.
sure. Like, I don't
Just to be
care.
sure.
Because this is how bad things happen.
Because that was my whole worry. I was sitting there, I was like, did she just,
Yep.
did,
Yep.
did
Yep.
that just, did we just
Yep.
have a sexual assault here on screen? You just walk away?
Yeah. You just walked away. I was very mad about that because up until this point, we've had a great time of her, like, sticking up for him and making sure nothing bad's gonna happen to him and like vice versa and like it's been this great dynamic but suddenly like no 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 we just left him there and
It's
then
just really wild.
I was mad that it took as long as it did to get the clarification on what happened because I
Honestly,
really needed to
though,
know. I was worried about him.
like everything feels too normal for that to have just happened
Too
in
normal.
like days ago. But we're
Right.
still like, no
Uh-huh.
mention.
And they've
It made me feel like I hallucinated it. I'm like, did it
hallucinated.
happen?
I was like, did that actually, did she see that with her own eyes? Did we see that? I didn't like it. But I was also, because we spent all that time setting it up that Shu clearly felt some type of way. I don't know what kind of man he is. And we're
Exactly.
in Japan, and I don't mean this to be like the way I'm saying, but like, there was a very high possibility. Like, I just needed clarification for my soul. I just needed to know.
But the other reason too that I was like, what with that scene too is because like, and especially it's like you said, like not knowing what kind of guy Shu is, but also there's a really high amount of like violence and other things against men who will dress feminine or trans women, a lot of or non-binary male to female or not male to female, born male people that like, they face a lot of violence still too.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
especially so. Listen, if I'm hanging out
Yeah.
with first of all, if I'm hanging out with anybody and they're drinking, I'm not leaving them.
I don't
Unless
care if
I'm
I
hanging out
hate
with
you.
someone else that I trust, you know what I mean, and they
Yep.
trust. If it's like a mutual friend, like kind of like sure, fine, but
Yeah.
but especially not if they are trans or if they're just outside of the gender
Any
norm.
spectrum. Yeah.
It's just not happening. Okay, it's not
No,
happening.
absolutely not. And like you said, especially given the fact that like she doesn't really know anything about you. Like I
Mm-mm.
at all. I get that he's been saying they have this history and they go way back and he knows them and all these things, but like Hikaru never said anything about how close they were. He never said
Right.
anything about like I trust this man explicitly or anything like that. Like there's been no none of that
And
said
she's
to her.
seen at that point, I can't remember exactly how many times, but I know at least once by that point where Hikaru has kind of been like, dude, get off of me with
She's
Shu.
I
You know
know
what I
she
mean?
saw that. I know she saw him just be getting pushed away all the time. Cuz
So,
I
like,
I know in her mind she just saw the hug and like, oh, well, you let him hug you, but not me. But also, he just hugged him regardless, knowing he didn't want that hug. Like, it was pretty clear
right.
he didn't want that hug. And come on, girly,
Come on, get with the program, please,
just a little
please.
bit. I need you to just because at the end of the day, right? Like, even if at this point you haven't realized your feelings, you're running around saying this is your best friend.
Right. Who you
I'm
love.
not right. I'm not running around leaving my best friend who I love drunk anywhere. It's not happening.
No.
Especially if I'm hearing like, oh well, he was so drunk he just was taken to the other room. Why? Why is he drunk? We're in the other room for
Who
what?
took
Why
him?
are we in the other room?
The
Like,
other room?
I don't even
I
care if
don't
it's
think
a
so.
mutual friend. Why are we in the other room? Are we that drunk? Are we sick? Do we need like I'm about to go and find out.
Exactly. And I like that she did try to go and she was like, yeah, I got some medicine. I got some medicine for you.
Like,
But
oh,
then
okay.
also, don't just look in the window, see that happening, and not think to like, at least be
At
like,
least
listen,
check.
pants were on, all right? You could have opened
Right.
that door and been
You
like,
could
hey,
open the
y'all
door.
good? Y'all got
Right.
condoms? All right.
Like, I just gotta make sure we're all right. Like I know that might be slightly embarrassing, but do it anyways to make sure people are
Exactly.
okay. I'm
At
just
least knock
saying.
on the door.
Knock on the
Something.
door,
Come
do
on.
something. Right. Because you'll figure out that reaction really quickly and you'll know
Yes.
if it's above board or not. So, anyways, I'll get off my soapbox, but that was the one like big ick to me the whole time where I was like yelling at her and I was like, look, girl, we don't do that. But
Right.
otherwise, and I like that it was still resolved quickly. It wasn't resolved quickly enough, but it was at least still like we got the explanation from him. Again, not quickly enough, but still quicker than we could have gotten in some. They didn't drag that whole like ambiguous plot line with like, oh well, Shu is clearly the person he likes, and they like all of that. It didn't drag on for too long, so I did appreciate that. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say, but it's fine.
Oh no.
Um, did we have a favorite in the show?
Um, honestly, maybe kind of Mio.
Yeah, I love her so much.
She is the most I have your fucking back human being I've
Yes.
ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's be like, I've known you for an hour, but you know what? I have your back now.
Got you. Yeah, that is a friend that everybody needs. She is
Yes.
just a bright little soul. And I love how sincere she is like it's the same level of sincereness that Haruka is. And so I think that like it makes sense that they would be such good friends,
Hmm.
but they just express it slightly differently. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I love her like she feels like almost like she feels like a big sister. You know what I mean? She's like, I'm
Yeah.
taking all of my experience and knowledge and like, you know what? You need this. I'm imparting this wisdom to you.
Everyone come to me for the advice on love, and I shall help all of you equally.
She's
It's
the
fine.
village elder.
The
And I
village
love her.
elder, yes, but stylish.
But stylish.
Stylish village
Yes. I love the
elder.
bows where she had like the like twin bows in her hair.
Yes.
Those are so cute. I would love to
So
do that.
cute. That whole first little outfit she had on was just fantastic, but I love the twin bows. And I like that she is so like we didn't do the exes get back together thing, and that
Hmm.
also she is the one who stayed single 5 years in, and as far as we know, she's still just doing her thing
Yeah.
and helping Kuretaki sort out his sordid love life.
Oh, he needs help. Like,
He
listen,
needs
listen, listen. It's 5 years later.
five
Listen,
years
if the
later.
help ain't worked by now,
Right.
girly, give it a rest.
But I love that she was still just good friends with him anyways, and she was like, "It's fine. It's okay. You're still a work in progress.
She's like,
You've
I still
learned
got you,
nothing."
bestie. We'll get
It's
there eventually.
look. Oh, it's so funny to me, and that she breaks everything down for him so simply, and I love
Hmm.
it so much.
It's funny to watch, and it's also so incredibly sweet.
So sweet. She's just an endearing character, and I by the end of it, I was like I needed a spin-off of Mio and Kuretaki as friends. I don't care if they necessarily like end up together or not, and maybe it's better if they don't. I just need a spin-off of the two of them after the
Right.
5 years. Like
I need some,
help
like,
her sort his love life out. I need that second season really bad.
yeah. Where is it? Where it at? I don't even care if it's like technically half a season. I just
Right.
want that. I want to
I
see
just need
that.
something. Give me I don't care if it's one of the vertical dramas. I just need to know. I need to give me the content. It was so good.
Did you have a favorite?
Um I do love Mio a lot, for sure. I don't know if I had a favorite. I do love the way that Hikaru expresses just this like I have your back genuinely no matter what through the whole thing, because it was I want you to be happy, and never like once did we feel like he went back on that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Like it
like that
was
there was like, even, continuing to like help her, even though, after he's already realized, like, damn,
mhm.
I got feelings and
Yeah.
everything, still trying to help her, get the courage she needs to ask out
Mhm.
Kurotaki, and like helping her, like giving her relationship advice and stuff, and doing her
Right.
makeup and hair and everything. Even still, like, and I feel like the only moment you see, and honestly, it's almost kind of sweet, if not a little threatening, but almost kind of sweet, right? Where he tells Kurotaki, like, you better not
Mhm.
hurt her.
Right.
Um, but I mean, other than that, like, you only see him really be jealous
Mhm.
after he's dating Haruka.
Right. Right. Which I love that. I because it sets this great standard of up until we are dating, that is not my place.
Exactly.
And I love that
Like,
so
I
because it's
respect
not.
you as a
Yes.
person.
Exactly. Like regardless of how I feel, that has nothing to do with like I'm not owed any like extra time with you even though we're friends, and like I like you're saying like no, there's nothing about it that's like weird or pushy or even like harboring ill will, like, and even with all of his interactions really with Kuretaki are still helpful for him as well. Like he's, oh yeah, man, you needed somebody to do your hair and makeup. Okay, sure, I'm gonna go. Even though clearly, like, he's like doing all the things, and he's recognizing the good qualities in this man as well. You
And
know,
also,
like,
I'm gonna go incognito. So
yeah,
that way, you don't think ill of Haruka
mm-hmm,
because I cross dress.
right, right,
Like, it's all very just like everything, and well, not everything, but most, other than one thing, but everything else in this whole show is just all green flags. Everybody's a
all
walking
green flag.
green flag.
Everyone is a green flag, because, and I love the way they did this too with the sort of uh trope we're doing where, oh well, we have the crush on this one, but actually we end up with, you know, the friend and the you know, the male lead or whatever. But that the entirety of the show, Kurotaki is also nothing if not a green flag. Like
Mm-hmm.
nothing if not a green
Actual
flag the
golden
entire time.
retriever.
Yes, literally. Actually, nothing happening inside of his brain except for good thoughts towards everyone. And that even in the end, you know, he's still like using Hikaru's own words against him, not with any sort of malice or even, I don't think, any intention, but purely just to prove a point to him as a gesture of like goodwill to get him there to like remind him of what he has.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing if not like the whole time you're like rooting for the both of them. Like either way this worked out would be okay. And like I don't know. It was just a cast full of sweet people.
Full of sweet characters. And I feel like all the actors also did, well, I mean, I don't know if they're sweet or not, but I feel
No, I
like
don't
they
know
all
that. I
did
don't
a
know about that.
really good job. Like
Right.
every last one of them, I feel like they did great with the character that they were given.
They did for sure. Um I can't even remember her name, but even down to their other coworker at the restaurant who is constantly just giving them advice and like putting up with the shenanigans and things and is just like also just everybody did such a good job. It felt
It
I
felt
don't
like a
know.
family. It felt like
Yeah,
a family by the end of the show. Like,
it did. It did. And so we've talked about some general things with that, but I guess maybe it's a good second to kind of pivot into the actual plot line itself. Or maybe the a more obvious aspect, I guess, with the cross-dressing portion, because there is, in particular, one part about the end that I want to get to, but I'm going to save that. Any thoughts or anything you want to get out?
I will say seeing being in the center of the gender spectrum
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
myself, it was, and also having like unsupportive parents, it was insanely satisfying to see Haruka stand up for Hikaru against his parents,
Mm-hmm.
or well, mostly against his dad, pretty much. It's mostly his dad,
Yeah,
right?
fuck
His
that guy
mom
for a
still
second.
loves him.
Yeah.
For real, because what the
Yeah,
fuck is
right.
your problem?
Because
What is
why?
your problem?
Mm-hmm.
You're just mad your son looks better than you.
That
Shut
part.
up.
You're just Maddie's pretty. Stop it. Well, and how did you feel about the, I hesitate to call it growth, but I guess the dad growth, if kind of towards the end of him watching, because it's not quite growth, but it's kind of a big step for people who are that I have disowned you to then be
Right.
watching the things. But how did you feel about it? Like, did it feel organic? Maybe is the word I'm looking for you.
It felt I've I've seen it happen. You know what I
It's
mean?
a little stereotypy for me.
It's a little stereotypical, but it's also like pretty common in real life enough too that like
Yeah.
sure stereotypical but also pretty accurate.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just it's if anything I felt kind of like I was okay with them leaving it there, and honestly I feel like maybe it would have been like a too, everybody holding hands singing kumbaya type vibes,
Yes,
I
it would.
guess, if
Right.
if dad would have met back up at
Hmm.
the end and been like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It wasn't, I've been a horrible father and you have every right to be mad at me. And, but I
Hmm.
really hope that, like, I mean, obviously they're not real or anything, but like I hope in the future his ass is on his knees groveling to his son, okay?
Yes. It because it definitely felt very stereotypy to me, but the one distinction that I do think was kind of a big deal is that in the 5 year gap, right, with our two kind of big growth scenes. The first one being he's watching the show at home from the apartment on his little laptop, right? And then 5 years later, where he comes in. The big distinction for me was watching it alone in the house while his wife is gone and coming in and seeing it and saying leave it on and sitting and watching it with her. And that part to me was telling enough. And so I did like at least that, like, it, if you're looking at it surface level, like it might not feel like a big difference, but it kind of is for people like that. I
It's
don't
kind of
know.
putting that pride aside.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I
Yeah,
feel like it was for him a big deal to have done that in front of her. So
definitely.
at least that part regarding the story I kind of liked. But yeah, down the future, I just know he's groveled for sure. I don't. Maybe they'll include that in the second season. It'll be all right.
That'd be cool.
It'll be cool. Well, so then the one thing I wanted to share with the plot that was kind of maybe just nitpicky, but like that when he meets Haruka's mom and we see him in the wig, and then they're walking back home and she's saying, you know, I love all the parts of you, and I was kind of hoping to see the more feminine side or whatever, and then we never saw it again,
Yeah.
and it just poof vanished, and it I didn't like it because we made such a big deal about loving the two sides of him, and then magically now there's only one side.
Yeah, and because I get that, like, as far as like the feminine, like the wig and the clothes and outfits and makeup, like was like I get the point of it being like his armor,
Hmm.
but it also seemed like, and maybe this was something that I didn't pick up on correctly. It also seemed like he did enjoy wearing that kind of stuff as well.
Right. Like
So
it.
why wouldn't you still see like him? Why wouldn't you then see him sometimes wearing like the more feminine stuff and sometimes wearing the more masculine stuff and like going in between stuff?
Right. Like I understand how we saw it, and that, you know, by the end of it the concept was, you know, using it to make your insides feel pretty, and so now he feels differently or whatever, I guess, but it also seemed like you could have that realization but still also express yourself the way that you have said you like to express yourself. Like you
Hmm.
said you like pretty things, and yes, your styles can change in the 5 years. You know, maybe we just, that's not how we do it anymore. Fine. But after this big thing from Haruka, establishing that she clearly likes both sides of him and did from the start, right? I
Hmm.
didn't like that that other side was also taken away. I would have liked to have seen it be like, even if it was only every now and again, like even if we're seeing it less often, right? That would have been okay too.
Right.
But I do, but just establishing truly that both sides of him are, she said it, but then we didn't see it.
Right. And I wonder if they tried to do like a middle of the road thing where like cuz he was still wearing makeup but not
Hmm.
like the wig or any like more overly feminine
Hmm.
clothes. So maybe they tried to do like a middle of the road thing,
I
but
didn't
I
like
didn't
it.
really see it that much.
Yeah,
I didn't really
I don't
see
want
it
to.
if they
I
tried to
needed
do
it to
it.
be more. Personally, I needed it to be more. I needed it
It
to be
just didn't feel
more.
very middle of the road.
No, it
But
didn't.
also like people's and I mean this is for a TV show. This is for a
Hmm.
story and a plot.
Yes,
It's different in real life.
sure.
Because in real life, yeah, people's gender expression is like it's whatever they want it to be, frankly. It's
Yes.
whatever they put on and whatever they say,
Hmm.
period. Okay.
End of.
But I felt like it wasn't, if they did try to do some middle of the road kind of thing with it, I
Hmm.
feel like it wasn't really expressed. It wasn't really
Right.
expressed. So,
Because it felt more to me like, oh, well, he's got the girl, and now we're just dressing more like
right.
a boy.
It's like now we kind of got to make it heteronormative.
Right. And I didn't like
Like we
that.
don't have to do that.
We don't have to do that. And we don't have to do that at all. There was no need to do that. They could have both been pretty, and he was pretty anyways. But you get what
Like
I'm
it
saying?
was
Like,
literally part of the plot
a whole
that we
lot.
don't have to do that.
We don't have to do that. That was the point. And I
That was
was
the point.
really dying to see them, but like I was really wanting to see a scene of her with this shortcut again and like in her new clothes and this new vibe and a different version of the more feminine Haruka side. Like it would have been fine if we changed the wig or if we did something different with the clothes or whatever. If he didn't want to do the wig, like fine, but I needed something that like even if it was expressed differently was still very clearly that feminine side of them and I needed to see that together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just I don't know, it was cuz he was so pretty. It
And
was
he is
a
so
waste.
pretty.
He was so pretty. He was so pretty both ways, and I needed more. So sad. Cause I don't know. Absolutely, in the same respect that like she can be more of the I'm gonna use the tomboyish phrase because I don't know that I have a better one right this second because it's late and I don't have my tea.
Probably like less fashionable.
Right, right,
Less
right. But it
fashionable.
was
Yeah.
fashionable. It was just, I don't want to say more masculine because it wasn't that per se, but it was just not as, like your classic feminine fashion sense. You know what I mean? That sort of like normative one, I guess. But that she can still be, the girl and she's got the short hair and she has this different fashion sense and this is where she's comfortable and still likes men, right? And in that same vein, we could have also had the discussion where he liked the prettier things or like the more feminine clothes or the wig or whatever it was that he liked and wanted to wear and could still like the girl. And like that's fine. Like you don't have to just be you. you know? I don't know how to best put it out there and describe it,
And
but
I
it
hate
just
that it feels like they kind of swung back heteronormative in one way, but I'm
yes.
also kind of glad that they didn't swing back heteronormative in the other way, where
True.
they made Haruka hyper feminine.
True. You're right. Yes, I
Because
was
then I hate
yes.
the idea that in any kind of relationship, even a straight one, okay,
Mhm.
because this is a straight relationship,
Straight,
that
yes.
anybody has to be like one person has to wear the pants.
Correct.
It's a dumb concept. You don't
Mhm.
know. Both of you can wear only skirts, and that's totally fine, or
Yes.
only pants. And that's totally
Exactly.
fine.
Whatever. Whatever it needs to be. If he wants to wear the dress today and she wants to wear the pants today, that's fine. I just I need to see more of the thing. I just needed it to be more expressly stated because it like you said it's swung a little more towards the heteronormative vibe. I'm glad I didn't go the other way. I was worried about it.
And I feel like that wasn't their intent. I
No.
do genuinely feel like they were trying to
Yes.
kind of go in some more like, I feel like they wanted to make the point
Mhm.
of like, okay, the a lot of the makeup and the hair and everything, especially like the wig,
Mhm.
were like his armor. Like
Yep.
I get that. And I also I like that story plot. I like that plot line.
Yes.
That was a really good plot line.
Great
And I
plotline.
like getting to see him like, and I understand too the like, yeah, maybe just like the shedding of the wig being
Sure.
symbolic, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
However,
But
I
we
would
could have done something to kind of express more
yes.
about like where he was. And maybe there
Hmm.
was something more that expressed it and I
Yeah,
just
maybe.
missed it.
I don't know. Maybe
But I
something
felt
was
like it
lost
wasn't super expressed. Maybe, I don't
translation.
know.
I think I just wanted, I didn't even need to see I didn't want the classic version of it, but I wanted to see it expressed differently. Like, I get the shedding of those things like you did, and it was a great plot point, and I did love that. I just wanted to see it expressed differently in a way that was no longer being used as his armor, but in a way that was being used as this is me. And
Right.
that's what I was craving at the end of it. I wanted it to be
Yeah.
different, but still clearly like this is a part of who I am now versus like something that I'm donning. If that makes,
Right.
this armor that I'm putting on, if we're
Yeah.
gonna keep using that. But it's
Instead of
just
making
me.
it the armor, now it's the sword or something. Like now I'm using
Yeah,
it and it's just who I am and I'm,
right,
like because that's a whole big thing with confidence, right? Instead of letting like, what you look like dominate you and what you do and what you wear and how you act. Instead, taking what you wear and how you act from who you are and presenting it to everybody. You know what I mean?
right.
That's literally that's confidence.
Hmm.
So I feel like they could have done something kind of in that realm. It's like, well, before it was like, so society's expectations, so like people aren't gonna jump me in the street. They'll see the wig, they think I'm just a woman.
Right.
you know, Taking it to now, like, hey, look at this different wig, look at these different kinds of outfits, and maybe you could do
Hmm.
something real middle of the road, kind of like a half masculine, half feminine sort of look or something, and have
Yeah.
it be like, this is who I am, though. Look at my makeup, look at my really cool new wig, look at my, whatever. Or maybe it could even just be his real hair, just whatever he wants to do with it. I
Hmm.
don't know. But
Exactly. It
just
could have been
something.
styled differently or something. But it wouldn't have bothered me so much, I think, were it not for the fact that they did such a good job presenting Haruka at the end and walking this sort of new, I don't want to say middle of the road, but like this new vibe for her. But it didn't, I don't know. I just wouldn't have been as craving if I feel like it now that they dropped the ball because the look was great for him. I mean, he still
Right.
looked beautiful, and like I get the concept what we were going for there, and so I do like that. It was just like left me wanting, and I'm sure a lot of people don't feel that way. And
And I know
overall,
this
it's
is the
good,
Haruka
but
show.
yeah, exactly. Yes, this is
It's
the
the
Haruka
Haruka
show,
show.
right?
But, they get it, but I get it, I get it. It's the Haruka show.
Yes, I
We're
get it.
over here looking at
Well,
Haruka.
and to that end, right, on the opposite end of the spectrum, kind of, I do like that. I think they did a good enough job showing this vibe of like, in the beginning, she felt very much so like, being this way as a straight woman, like I have to fit the mold that the people around me seem to be in, and that I clearly am not. And that by the end of it, we had her new definition of herself with her confidence and like clearly finding a way to not fit that mold, but finding a way to have that confidence and comfortability in her own skin and still be who she was.
Right.
But yeah, that was my one sort of nitpicky thing with it, is just that I was really hoping for some more to that end. But beggars can't be choosers, and what we got was really, really good. So I'm not mad at what we have.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that. I'm not mad at any of it. I'd watch the show again.
Would, yeah. Well, technically I did. I
You finished it
did.
this time, though.
I
At
did
least
finish it
there's
this
that.
time. Yes, I did. I'm glad we got to come back to this one. Because it is such a, and if you really just want to sit down and have like a nice binge and feel good about something, I highly recommend. It really was great. And I love Hikaru Russo very much. Love, love, love him. And Haruka. Everybody. Mio. It's so good. So good. So yes,
Yeah.
moral of the story, be more feminine, and yeah.
Moral of the story: be yourself.
Yes. Mine was joking. Listen to theirs. Mine was joking, just so we're all very clear. Yeah, be
But thank you for
yourself.
listening. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting and subscribing and for being here in general.
Yes.
Appreciate you. Um, Let us know how you felt about the show. If there was anything that,
Yes.
anything that you took differently, or any of your favorite characters, anything like that, or any similar shows that you'd like for us to watch.
Recommendations. We
Yes,
love those.
we do
Yay.
love those. And then follow us on our socials. We post on TikTok, and mostly TikTok and Instagram. Not gonna lie, mostly just those two,
Oh, and the YouTube.
and YouTube.
Yes.
If you're not listening to this on YouTube,
Right, right,
then
right.
also
If you're
YouTube.
not. And if you are listening to this on YouTube, go look. We have shorts.
We have shorts. We have streams also if you're on YouTube.
We have, yes, we streams every Wednesday. I almost forgot what day. My God. Every Wednesday we
Yeah.
stream, guys, at the 8:30 Eastern Standard Time.
PM.
PM, thank you. Yes, not the
Yeah.
morning.
Don't wake up early.
Telling over early.
Or late, depending on who you
All
are. I
right.
don't know.
The 2030 if you need it in military time. Ha ha ha.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week.
Did you drop the
Bye.
socials?
Yes.
Okay. I need a nap, guys. Good night.